my name is Marion. In the blog world, I'm known as Miss Mustard Seed, and I'm going to show you today how to use milk paint as a wash on furniture. Now, what that means is you thin the paint down so it's quite watery and brush it over a surface in order to create sort of a faded look or sort of a distressed look. Now, on this chair, I already applied a wash. The piece was painted in Shutter Gray, and then I used a wash of ironstone. Might be a little hard to see on camera, but what it does is sort of settles into all of the carved details of the chair, and it just gives it this beautiful aged look. Gives it sort of a very soft finish that looks great, especially on pieces like these with a lot of carvings and curves. It brings out a lot of the detail. On this piece, I've just painted it in Shutter Gray, so I'm going to use this one to show you how to do a wash using milk paint. To create a wash, I have mixed just some white ironstone milk paint with quite a bit of water. So it's very, you want it to be watery, but you don't want it to be so watery that it runs all over the place. So you might want to increase the amount of water used by maybe half and see how that works. But see, the milk paint is watery, but when I wipe it off, the excess, it's not dripping from the brush. So that's about how wet it should be. And then I'm going to brush it on, and you might get a little bit of dripping. If you get like excessive amounts of dripping, then it's probably just too loose. So I'm going to cover the area, and in that case you would just add a little bit more powder. But I'm going to especially work the brush into all of the little nooks and crannies, and then take just a rag and sort of wipe away the excess. And you can leave on as much as you want, or take off as much as you want. It's just sort of, you can achieve whatever look you like. And I would just continue doing that over the entire chair. And I would do it exactly as I am now, in very small portions so the paint doesn't dry. And I'm not, as you can see, I'm not totally smearing the paint. I'm sort of patting it away so that I end up, there's my sump pump again. It's like part of the soundtrack on my videos now. I guess I should unplug it or something while I'm making these, but anyway, yeah, so I'm just sort of patting it to remove the wash off of the high points of the paint and leave it into the crevices, and also leave a little bit of texture. And I'm going to apply it everywhere, even where there aren't nooks and crannies, because since milk paint is porous, it will sort of absorb the color you're washing with, and it will lighten the color or darken the color depending on what color wash you're using, just a little bit, and give it a little bit of softness. So you want to use it over the whole piece so that you don't have blotches where there's no color and then somewhere there is the wash and that sort of thing. And I especially like this treatment on caning, because I can get into all the little details of the caning like this. I'm sort of pouncing as you would on a stencil. This technique is called pouncing, which sounds very, official and fancy, but it just means like putting your brush up and down on the surface. And then I'm going to sort of wipe the excess away. But you can also use like typewriter over tricycle. That would look really good to give this rich sort of black wash over the bright red paint. And you could also do sort of a colored wash over white. So maybe a mustard seed yellow wash or a Shutter Gray wash over ironstone or linen. And it creates this just really beautiful effect. So that is how you wash a piece using milk paint.